was fascinated with my work. Strangely fascinated. Almost horribly so. He enjoyed finding twisted minds and probing them. His hunger for crime was bound to end in tragedy. On the last evening of our visit in Paris, we were walking on the left bank of the Seine River when Jack noticed a crowd gathered about our old friend, the head of the Paris police force, Inspector Duval. I was in a hurry to return to the hotel to finish writing my murder manuscript. The deadline was in the morning. But Jack insisted on stopping.
What's the excitement all about, Duval?
Well, hello, Mr. Westcott. Still looking for ancient murders, Mr. Manning?
Not tonight, Duval. Ancient or otherwise.
Stick around, Mr. Manning. I'll show you a murder the likes of which you've never seen before. Okay, boys. Drag it out of the river.
What is it, Inspector?
A corpse, Mr. Westcott. A corpse that's been squashed thin as a piece of paper.
Oh, let's see it.
Oh, what do you mean, thin as a piece of paper?
Hey, bring it over here, boys. Right under the gaslight.
Horrible-looking thing, isn't it?
Horrible and fascinating. Why, it looks like it got squeezed in a giant press.
We've had an epidemic of these corpses lately.
Any idea who's doing it?
Not even a vague notion, Mr. Hey, you! You, the fat man!
You mean me, Inspector?
Yes, I mean you, fat man. How come you're always around when we pull a corpse out of the river?
Why? I enjoy murder.
You enjoy it? You enjoy murder?
It appeals to my sense of the artistic.
Oh, it does.
Well, there's something fascinating about these bodies. Something for a connoisseur alone to appreciate. The symmetry of the remains. The beautifully flawless flatness of the corpse. The hollow in the stomach. Lying in this puddle of gaslight, this mass of flesh and bones makes a nice picture. I should enjoy painting this, if I could paint.
I know what you mean, fat man, but wouldn't you prefer probing the mind of a man who conceived this crime?
A man's mind is his secret self. Well, enjoy the ghastly spectacle, my friend. Enjoy it. Good evening, gentlemen.
All right, men. Take the body down to the morgue and try and find out who it is.
Come on, Burke. I'd like to follow that fat man.
In heaven's name, why? He's nothing but a psychopathic case.
I want to satisfy a hunch.
Well, if you're such a good detective, why don't you join Scotland Yard?
Why, I might, Burke. I might at that. Where the devil has that gross piece of flesh disappeared to now? He was right in front of us until we turned this corner.
Well, we've lost him, Jack, and I don't wonder. We've passed through every side street in the whole city. If you ask me, he knows he was being followed.
Good. If he knows, he'll show his hand sooner. Now, the only place he could have gone around here is into the back door of this house. I wonder what house this is.
It's a gloomy dump. Let's go back to the hotel, Jack. I've got to finish that manuscript tonight.
It's like a public bar to me. The La Belle Tavern. Are you coming with me, Burke, or are you going home?
I'm with you, old boy. I brought you to Paris, and by heaven, I'm going to return you to America.
This must be the doorbell. Here goes. And Burke, no matter what I do tonight, don't worry.
Come in, gentlemen. Come in.
You were perfectly right, fat man. Those two Americans did follow you. They're sitting at the bar inside.
The Americans value their lives so slightly. Amazing, isn't it, Cecilia?
Their lives. Our lives. They might be cops. I don't want to get my neck in a noose.
To be quite candid, I am not interested in your neck. You're so impatient, and impatience is an evil ascribed to the very young. It might be a pity if you are not allowed time to cure yourself of that evil.
Don't threaten me, you fat pig. You pig.
I'd hoped to slap some sense into that lovely but empty head. Obviously, my stupid pigeon, those two Americans are wealthy. They would enjoy our roulette table if you would show them to it. Remember, I'll talk to the croupier, and he will take care of the wheel of fate. If you don't do your part well, You face a lifetime in jail.
What happens if they get wise? Room 16?
But, of course.
Let me go.
I knew you'd understand.
Yeah, I understand. There's something so gay about Americans, I always say. I hope you boys don't mind if I stick around.
Well, Miss
Not at all, miss. Not at all.
You can call me Cecilia. How about another drink?
Oh, that's fine.
3 more of the same, bartender.
What do you do for a living, Cecilia?
Oh, I model in a dress shop.
I don't believe you, Cecilia.
Jack, stop ribbing the girl. She's a good kid.
I'm on the level. I'm interested in it.
Here's the drink.
Thanks.
Why do I interest you?
Well, because you're fairly easy to figure out.
Am I? Why?
You really want me to tell you?
Sure I do. Well, here's mud in your eye.
Touche.
Oh. Potent stuff, Jack. Potent stuff tastes like cyanide.
Well, Cecilia, I'd say you're a poor girl who lives in the slums. But you're pretty. Prettier than anybody in your entire neighborhood. Well, let's see. Then you must have met a man.
What of it? I'm no saint.
He promised you a lot of doodads, and suddenly you found you committed your first crime. Let's say murder.
What'd she do? Set her mother on fire?
Oh, well, for that, let's have 3 more drinks. Bartender, 3 more. Well, now, let's say it really was murder. The second murder wasn't so hard. And the third was easy, wasn't it?
I never had nothing to do with the murder.
Well, for the sake of argument, let's say you have. But inside of you, all the time, is this wanting to be liked, wanting to be on the level. But your so-called friends, they don't trust you, Cecilia. Someday they'll double-cross you.
Here are the drinks.
Thank you.
Nobody'll ever double-cross me. Well, here's mud in your eye. Drink up, boys.
Is there anything else to do around here?
You seen the gambling rooms?
Gambling rooms. Ah, that's me. Who runs those gambling rooms, Cecilia?
I don't know.
One of your friends? A fat man, perhaps, with a long nose?
I don't know the owner. Gosh, you're real nice.
Is the fat man in the back room now?
Probably. Gambles here a lot. Do you replay?
Sure. Well, come on, Jack. We'll see who's right, my books or your instincts.
Number 21 wins.
Jack, the fat man's in the corner of the room.
Yeah, saw him, Burke.
And he saw you, old boy. Don't think he didn't.
Come on, boys, let's play.
Money, money, money. Place your bets, gentlemen.
They'll make some room for us over here. Come on.
Hello, Cecilia.
Hello, Monty Loriard. You playing again? I thought you lost every cent you owned last night.
A desperate man finds desperate ways to raise money.
Even murder, eh? You heard about it.
Perhaps, and perhaps not.
Like you to meet some new friends of mine, Monty. This is Jack Westcott and Burke Manning. Monty Loriard.
How do you do?
Money, 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 gentlemen. Place your bets.
I bet 30 francs on odd.
How about 100 francs on number 13?
Good boy, Jack.
The play is dead. Round and round the little ball goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Hey, Burke, I feel a little dizzy.
You had too much to drink, pal, and those drinks were strong.
Number 13 wins.
Good for you, American. Lucky for you. I won the first time I ever played here, but never again.
Money, 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 money.
That was the first time Jack won on that incredible evening. But as the ball spun, his winnings increased. The table seemed to have gone crazy. Jack became gambling drunk. The croupier seemed desperate as that wheel spun round and round, each time increasing Jack's winnings. The room was tense with excitement, and even the little thin loser Loriard seemed surprised.
Monsieur Westcott, your luck is phenomenal. You've won 30 times. 30 times.
Jack, you won a fortune, man. Stop now before it's too late.
Leave him alone, Burke. Let him play if he wants to.
Sure, let me play if I want to. I want to break the bank.
Careful, monsieur. Let me warn you. Careful.
Jack, it's almost midnight, and I've got a lot of work to do tonight. Please, let's go. And remember the fat man.
The fat man be hanged.
Here, Jack. Have another drink.
Thanks, is it?
Jack,
I will.
be sensible.
Ah, stop being an old auntie, Burke. I'll see you later at the hotel. Make the book have a bloody ending. I'm in the mood for a good murder tonight.
Remember, Jack, I warned you. Goodbye.
Money, 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 gentlemen. Place your bets.
I told the croupier you wanted to see him back here, fat man, but it wasn't the croupier's fault the American broke the bank.
That is for me to decide. Where is the American now?
Outside. Buying drinks for the house.
Good. That ought to keep him busy.
You called for me, monsieur?
Yes, I did. I'll need you too, Cecilia. Shut the door. I don't like to frighten our patrons.
I'm sorry about the wheel, monsieur, but it was broken and I couldn't control it.
That is unfortunate for you.
What are you going to do, monsieur?
Come here.
Don't put your fat hands on me, fat man. Let me...
Don't fight the fat man. You can't move, can you, croupier? Because if you move, my arm will break your neck. Call my men, Cecilia. I might need a little aid with this stupid fool.
What are you going to do, fat man?
Have his brains pressed out of his body in room 16. His mind is no good where it is now.
No, monsieur, please, monsieur. Not room 16.
What's that? What was that, Monsieur Lorient?
We'll probably be luckier if we don't ask questions.
I want another drink.
Jack, listen to me. Put on your hat and coat and leave this place. You're being watched all the time.
Who's watching me?
Hello, Jack.
Oh, have a drink.
No, Jack. You've had enough to drink. Leave this place right away.
She's right, Jack. You must leave. I'll see you home personally. Come on, man.
Oh, no, you don't, Monty Loriot. I know your tricks. The last man you saw home was found with a dagger in his breast.
How come you're so interested in me, Cecilia?
Because you're the first person who ever treated me decent. Oh, please go home.
All right. Sooner or later, every woman develops some mother complex over me. Now, I don't want to be mothered.
Who is trying to mother you, my friend?
Oh, hello, fat man. Cecilia is.
Ah, she's developed a rather latent maternal instinct. I think a maternal instinct is out of place tonight. After all, tonight's a night for celebration.
Yeah, the fat man's right. Celebration. Bartender, open a bottle of champagne.
Bartender, champagne. Champagne for Monsieur Westcott. Won't you join us, Cecilia?
Yeah. Of course I will.
Here is the champagne, monsieur.
Won't you drink with us, Monsieur Loriot?
No, thank you, fat man. I don't think so. I never enjoyed toasting to death.
Death? Open the bottle, bartender.
Good night, Jack. And good luck.
Good night. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night.
Here's the handkerchief, fat man.
Oh, Jack, your money is all tied safely in your handkerchief.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Oh, where'll I put the handkerchief?
It would be wisest to tie it to your belt.
I feel dizzy, fat man.
Oh, you need a cup of good hot coffee. That will straighten you right out. Cecilia, go in the kitchen and fix our friend a cup of coffee.
But I really...
Don't tell me, my little pigeon, that your hearing is failing you.
I'll get it right away.
I'm glad we're alone, fat man. I want a chance to talk to you.
Talk away, Jack.
Tell me confidentially. Why do you enjoy seeing a mutilated body dragged out of the river?
There's beauty in death.
In the act of death, or in the recovery of a body after life is left it?
In both.
Then, do you enjoy committing a crime?
Perhaps. Perhaps it would be pleasant to watch a man die. Slowly. Very slowly. In order to see life leave the body. Say that you and I watched a murder by pressure. What would happen?
I'm interested, fat man. What would happen?
The face is the first part affected. It would turn red. And the victim would probably feel hot blood pounding in his brain. Pounding like steel hammers.
Mm-hmm.
Then his eyes would feel sore, as if the fluid creating sight were ebbing slowly away.
That would be painful?
Painful but glorious. His face would discolor. The pressure on his chest would be so great he tried to scream, cry out, but he couldn't. He wouldn't be able to move, not a limb, not a muscle. He'd be paralyzed. I'd see to that. And in that moment, all the horror that is in man's mind would be indelibly imprinted on the brain until a sudden crushing noise would blot out thought.
And what would that crushing noise be?
The pulverizing of the human bone.
Here's the coffee, fat man.
Ah, let me see it. Tastes all right. Here you are, Jack. This will fix you.
No, I don't think I want any. If you'll pardon me, I'm so dizzy. So frightfully dizzy.
Oh, of course you are. Here, Jack, drink it. Drink it, my friend. My good, good friend.
If you don't want to drink it, Jack, don't.
Now, open your mouth, my friend. It will sober you very quickly.
No,
Open your mouth.
No.
There. Now, how do you feel?
I'm sick. I'm sick. It's dope, isn't it? It's dope. Let me get... Oh.
Our friend Jack is asleep, Cecilia. Call the bartender. I think our friend will spend the night with us in room 16.
Monsieur Manning! Monsieur Manning! I've been looking all over Paris for you, monsieur.
You've been looking for me?
Yes, I've called every hotel in the city trying to find you. I know you don't remember me, but I met you earlier this evening at the La Belle Tavern. My name's Loriot of the Paris Police Force.
Yes, of course. Well, won't you come in? Where's Mr. Westcott?
I had to leave him at the tavern. He wouldn't listen to me. You see, monsieur, I've been assigned to watch that tavern. It's been under suspicion for several weeks.
Oh, great Scott, man. Where's Jack now?
At the tavern. He's carrying an enormous amount of money on his person. I know the fat man will never allow him to leave with that money.
Why don't you raid the den?
Unfortunately, we can't. We have no proof. As a matter of fact, they might not harm him at all. But just in case, I thought it might be a wise idea for you to go down there. You can go to the door and ask for...
Yes? What do you want?
You're the bartender, aren't you?
I am not Napoleon's grandma. What do you want?
My friend Jack Westcott hasn't come back to the hotel as yet. We've been waiting for him, and I thought that he probably decided to spend the night here at your place, and
Your friend is not here. Go home, American, before you get yourself in more trouble than you can handle.
Who was it?
The other American asking about his friend. Where are you going?
Upstairs. To take Monsieur Westcott a candle, like the fat man told me.
Be sure the fat man told you, or else...
I'm sure. Very sure. Jack, I brought you a candle. Are you asleep? Wake up, Jack. Please wake up. Please. Maybe if I shake him. Wake up. Oh, I hate to slap you, but your life depends on it.
What is it?
Oh, wake up.
Cecilia, my dear. Jack. Luckily, he's still asleep. Come, Cecilia. Let our friend sleep.
I'm so sick. So dizzy and sick. Why didn't she let me sleep? Oh, I feel paralyzed. I can't move at all. Just as if I'm drugged. Maybe if I concentrate on the room, I'll go to sleep. Funny that a French gambling house should have a bedroom. What is an old English four-poster bed doing in a French room anyway? What a heavy canopy over my head. So solid looking. Almost as if it were made of steel. The mattress is so hard. I must concentrate on something. The picture above my head. It's just even with the canopy. An evil-looking Spaniard with 5 feathers in his head. The eyes moved. I'm certain of it. The eyes moved. Oh, I wonder if I dare look up again. I was sure there were 5 feathers. Now there are only 4. 4 feathers. 4 feathers. Now 3 feathers. I wonder who's outside my door. I'll try to sleep. No, look at the picture. What? Feathers have disappeared. I can barely even see the face. God heaven. The canopy is being lowered on me. That's what it is. The canopy. I can't move. The paper-thin corpse. Oh, I gotta move it. It's coming closer. 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 Oh, squish me. Oh, I must move. I can't. Oh, it's almost down. Halfway down. Oh, there. Oh, just to crawl out of bed. Oh, if I get a crawl out of here. I'm safe. Safer than a horrible contraction. Now to get out of here. The window. Open the window slowly. I'll crawl to the window. Now, I can push the window open slowly. Very slowly.
The bed must have clamped down on him by now. Listen to me, men.
Push the window open. Oh, it's stuck.
Be sure and deliver the money back to me.
There. Now to open it wide enough to crawl through.
You can raise the canopy now. Let's go in, gentlemen.
Help! Help somebody!
Get that man before it's
Help! Save somebody!
Got him.
Out the window!
If the bed didn't work the first time, Mr. Westcott, I've ways and means of making it work the second, and perhaps it would be more pleasant to watch life ebb out in front of me.
No.
Place him carefully on the bed.
Let me go.
Good. This ought to prove most enjoyable, Mr. Westcott. It's a pity you haven't my detached viewpoint. Put him in. Then lower the canopy.
No!
This way, Bert! Up this way! Hurry, Mr. Lawyer, I can hear the bed moving!
Cecilia, you fool! Look! Get Jack out of that bed!
Jack, boy, here, hold on to me. I'll drag you out.
Don't you put your hand on me, lawyer.
Watch into there! I'll take care of the bartender from outside.
I'm all right, Burke. Don't worry about me. Oh, Cecilia.
I'll help her.
Let me go, Cecilia! Don't push me!
Help me, Lawyer! Help! No, you don't, fat man!
You little...
No, you don't! You're on the back of me, a Frankenstein! There! Try to get out of your own bed now!
Well, Inspector Duval, that's the story. Loriard and Burke were waiting outside all the time. They saw me at the window, and Cecilia let them in.
Close shave, eh?
A lucky escape. Loriard and I pulled him out of bed just in time, and Cecilia pushed the fat man under the canopy as it closed down.
Must have been a horrible sight, Burke.
Well, what about Cecilia, Inspector? What would they do to her?
Unfortunately, the police can't find her. And I've instructed them not to look too hard.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have heard the story, a terribly strange bed. Bellkeeper, toll the bell.
Out of the past, phantoms of a world gone by, speak again the immortal tale
The murders in the Rue Morgue.
Gentlemen, please, may I have your attention?
Very well.
I didn't ask you to come to my humble apartment tonight to endeavor to stun you with my superior knowledge of crime and criminals. I've asked you here only to prove to you that the murders in the Rue Morgue present no great insoluble mystery.
Monsieur Dupin, if you think the case is so obvious, tell me, who is the murderer?
He will be here shortly, Monsieur le Prefect of Police.
Here? Who is it? A murderer here?
Gentlemen, I give you my word as a man of honor that he will be here in my apartment at precisely 10 o'clock this evening.
How can you be so sure?
I have asked him to come.
Oh.
It is exactly 9 o'clock now, gentlemen. And in the hour remaining to us before we meet the murderer, I shall explain to you as simply as I can how I managed to arrive at my conclusion.
Yes, do, Monsieur Dupin. I'm always interested in guesswork.
Guesswork, my dear fellow? This is not guesswork.
No?
Now, gentlemen, let us retrace the case. The story begins, if I'm not mistaken, with Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter Camille on the afternoon of December 16th, 1841.
Well, of course, you're correct so far anyway, Dupin.
I bow, Monsieur le Prefect. Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter Camille entered the Bank of France at precisely 2:45 in the afternoon to transact important business.
Ah, Madame L'Espanaye, I've been waiting for you.
So good of you, Monsieur Le Bon. Have you met my daughter, Camille?
I don't think I've had the pleasure. How do you do, mademoiselle?
How do you do, Monsieur Le Bon?
Are you quite sure, Madame L'Espanaye, that you wish to withdraw all this money at this time?
Quite positive.
But 4,000 francs is a great deal to keep about one's household, madame.
I'm quite aware of the danger involved, Monsieur Le Bon. But if the bank keeps this withdrawal quiet, nobody else need know that I have a sum of money in the house.
Well, things do get about, madame. There's no use inviting unnecessary danger.
The danger is my problem, Monsieur Le Bon. I think we'd better let the matter drop at that.
Have you, any protection against possible thievery at home, madame?
No, monsieur, but Mama and I have protection enough. We bolt and lock our doors. It's absolutely impossible for anybody to enter the house unless he should break the door down.
But does any male protector live in the house?
My husband died many years ago.
Madame misunderstands me. I'm only asking these questions for your own good. 2 unprotected women living alone in a large house can invite trouble.
That is our problem.
If Madame insists.
And I do insist.
Very well, Madame. I have the money here. I myself will see you both home to ensure safe delivery. But let me warn you now. The minute you arrive in your home on the Rue Morgue, the Bank of France resigns all future responsibility.
We understand, Monsieur Le Bon. We understand perfectly.
Interesting that it's all.
So, gentlemen, the first step in this little tragedy was completed. Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter insisted on taking the money home from the bank. Monsieur Le Bon drove them in his carriage to their house. The large, bleak house. Number 12, Rue Morgue. When they arrived there, Monsieur Le Bon looked about for the gendarme who was in charge of that particular block.
Oh, my God.
May I help you out, Mademoiselle Camille?
Oh, thank you, Monsieur Le Bon.
Madame?
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that the gendarme on the corner? The gendarme usually on this block?
Not having had any reason to talk to the gendarme, Monsieur Le Bon, I wouldn't know.
Yes, I think it is, monsieur.
Gendarme! Gendarme!
All this fuss over a little money. Really, you think we were incapable of taking care of ourselves?
Well, I think Monsieur Le Bon is very thoughtful, Maman.
Gendarme!
Coming, monsieur, coming.
Do you live on the first floor, Madame L'Espanaye?
On the 4th floor in the back of the house. I own this house, and I've shut up all the other rooms.
You mean this entire house is unoccupied except for...
You called me, monsieur.
Yes, I did. I want you to keep a special watch on this house for the next week or so. Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter will have a considerable amount of money in the house.
I will watch the house like a watchdog.
You would be better off if you did it like a man. Then you'd use your head instead of your feet.
Monsieur!
What is your name, gendarme?
Gendarme Isidore Musée.
Very well. Gendarme Isidore Musée. I leave these ladies in your care.
You needn't worry about a thing, mademoiselle. And madame.
I'm sure we won't. That is, as long as you don't spread the news around the neighborhood that we've got 4,000 francs hidden here in the house.
Who, me, madame? I am the law, and your secret is safe with me.
Come along, Maman. I'm getting hungry. Yes, dear. Thank you so much for all you've done, Monsieur Le Bon.
It is nothing, mademoiselle, nothing at all. Just a courtesy extended by the Bank of France.
I'll keep good watch, be assured of that. I'll keep very good watch.
Gentlemen, let us proceed to the next event. Gendarme Isidore Musée kept a very good watch on number 12 Rue Morgue. At 11 o'clock the evening of the tragedy, he strolled into the shop 2 doors away from number 12 to buy a pouch of tobacco and to chat with his very good friend Pierre Moreau, a tiny man known as the neighborhood gossip.
Good evening, friend Isidore. Good evening.
Evening.
I've been waiting for you. Yes, I've been waiting for you. You usually drop in at 9 o'clock. And I said to myself, as I sat here waiting for you, I said, where's my good friend Isidore?
It's been a busy evening this evening.
That's what I said to myself. If Isidore doesn't drop in to buy his usual box of tobacco, he's busy. There must be big news abroad, but then how could there be big news abroad on this block? That's what I said.
You were wrong, Pierre. Very wrong.
Wrong, eh? There is big news. Thievery?
No.
Murder?
No.
Well, then, I give up.
It's a secret.
Secret? What could be a secret? Somebody got married. That's no secret. Somebody died. That's no secret either. A child is ill, a contagious disease, an epidemic, all Paris will be infected?
No.
Well, I can't guess.
If you promise not to tell a soul...
Oh, not a soul.
Well, Madame L'Espinier...
Yes?
...and her daughter Camille... have withdrawn 4,000 francs from the bank today and have it hidden in the house somewhere.
No.
And I must stand on guard.
Naturally.
But don't tell a soul.
No, not a soul. On my honor, not a single soul, Isidore. My word of honor, I swear it now.
And so, by midnight, gentlemen, the entire neighborhood in the Rue Morgue was buzzing.
4,000 francs in the L'Espinay household. I hear it was 10,000.
2 women all alone.
Imagine it, 20,000 francs.
I wonder where...
And all that jewelry must be a veritable fortune hidden away.
Do you know that they say she's got money hidden in every corner of the house?
Imagine almost 1 million francs in that house. I always knew there was something strange about those 2 women living all alone in a house like that. And in the rear, 4th floor.
Yes, sitting in the bedroom of the 4th floor rear. But while the neighborhood was busy gossiping and chattering, Mademoiselle Camille and her mother were completely unaware of the commotion they had caused. It was almost 3 a.m. Camille had just finished undressing, and her mother was sitting in front of the mirror, brushing her hair, so that they didn't notice the window opening in back of them.
Oh, I'm so tired, Mama.
Poor Camille. It's been a very busy day.
You know, I thought that Monsieur Le Bon was very nice.
He seems fairly affable.
Oh, Mama, fairly affable. I thought he was perfectly charming. So concerned over us.
No man ever gets that concerned over me. Must have been you, darling. All men see...
Mama, look in the mirror.
Stay calm, Camille. Don't
Mama,
move.
he's got a razor in his hand.
Don't move, Camille.
Mama, quick. Let's hide. He's coming closer.
Where, Camille? Where shall we go?
Into the closet, Mama. Quickly, Mama, into the closet.
Close the door.
Mama, he'll break the door down. He'll break the door down, Mama.
Watch out, Camille. He's breaking it down.
How awful.
Quite right, gentlemen. Simply ghastly. We fully realize that this is a horrible atrocity, but we must remain factual. While all this was going on the fourth floor of number 12 Rue Morgue, the gendarme Isidore Musée, the little tobacconist Pierre Moreau, Monsieur Le Bon, who, strangely enough, was in the neighborhood at that very moment, and a passerby, a sailor, all four were attracted by the screams of the two women and immediately tried to break into number 12 Rue Morgue.
Now stand back, everybody, while I break the door down. Stand back. This is the gendarme's job.
Break it down, Isidore. Break it down.
Well, come. Follow me, everybody. Up these stairs to the fourth floor.
I'm right behind you, Isidore. Right behind you.
Now on the next flight. Keep going. Wait a minute. Wait. Listen to that. He's speaking Italian.
No, it's Russian, Isidore.
No, Italian, Pierre.
I think it's Polish.
How would you know Polish, Monsieur Le Bon? Have you ever heard Polish spoken?
No, but listen again. I think it's Dutch he's speaking.
Dutch, Polish, Italian, Russian. And none of you know what you're talking about.
He stopped speaking, hasn't he?
Yes, probably escaped. Yes, probably. I wonder. Try the door.
Can you open it, Isidore?
No, it's locked.
I think we're too late. I'm sure of it, sailor. I warned you about the gendarme.
Well, let's break the door down. 1, 2, 3. Look.
What? Oh, the entire room is wrecked. Just exactly as if a maniac had torn up the place. The bed's torn apart.
Yes. I've sailed the 7 seas, but I've never seen a place look like this in my entire life.
Monsieur Le Bon, where are Mademoiselle Camille and her mother?
I don't know. They're not in here. Look.
Where?
There in the fireplace.
Oh.
It's Mademoiselle Camille.
Dead.
Yes. Dead. Dead. Poor girl. Here, help me, somebody.
Yes, Mom.
Help me lift her up. Look. Look out this window.
Huh?
The old woman is lying in the courtyard below.
The sailor's right. Absolutely right. She's lying in the courtyard below, dead as a dead fish. Oh, probably twice as dead.
Somebody is guilty of this. Somebody. And as a member of the Paris police, I mean to find out who that guilty person is.
Yes, gentlemen. Isidore Musée, gendarme, swore up and down that he would find the murderer. Well, at 4 o'clock that morning, I was awakened from a sound sleep and called to number 12 Rue Morgue to examine the evidence. Monsieur le gendarme Musée was running around the room destroying the evidence, or at least what little evidence there was, as fast as he unearthed it. The 3 gentlemen who had been there with him were still waiting round out of a combined feeling of horror and curiosity. The sailor, whose name escaped me, was sitting on what was left of a bed, staring blankly around the room. Monsieur Pierre Moreau, the tobacconist, was watching Isidore Musée, the gendarme, play detective. He played it badly. And Monsieur Le Bon was the picture of dejection. I entered the room and gazed about while Isidore supplied me with all the facts in the case, at least from his point of view.
And that is exactly what happened, Monsieur Dupin.
Very interesting, Monsieur Isidore Musée. And now, gentlemen, I wish to ask just a few questions.
No, go ahead.
Now, all of you seem to think you heard the voice of the murderer.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, we did definitely.
No doubt about it.
And you, Monsieur Isidore Musée, you are positive that the murderer is an Italian?
Positive, Monsieur Dupin. Absolutely positive. I could tell by his intonation.
Do you speak Italian?
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Have you ever heard Italian spoken?
No, monsieur, never. But I imagine...
Yes? You imagine what?
Oh, I imagine it would sound like that.
I see. And you, Monsieur Le Bon, you said it was Polish.
Definitely Polish, without a doubt.
I judge you have lived in Poland a long time yet?
No, but I heard Polish spoken once.
Once? Yes. That makes you an excellent judge of the Polish language. How about you, Monsieur Pierre Moreau? What language did you say it was?
Russian, I thought, but that's only a guess, since I admit, and I admit it very freely, I'm not a man to hedge. I've never heard a word of Russian in my life.
I thought so. And how about you, sailor?
I thought it was Dutch. I don't speak the Dutch language, but I have heard a considerable amount of Dutch spoken when I was in Holland 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
I don't mean to make a suggestion, Monsieur Dupin, but Monsieur Lebon was the only man beside myself who knew about the money being kept in this house.
What are you insinuating, Monsieur Musée?
Insinuating? I'm an officer of the law, and I think it was very peculiar that you should just happen to be in this neighborhood at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Don't you live in this neighborhood, Monsieur Lebon?
No, but I've good reason to be here.
Oh, so? Suppose you tell us.
Well, I was worried about Mademoiselle Camille. I was rather attracted to the young lady. And, well, I had a feeling that there would be trouble over the money. Well, I was in the corner cafe having some tea until about 10 minutes before the murder occurred.
And then you strolled by the house on your way home, correct?
Quite correct.
My tobacco store is open all night.
All tobacco stores are open all night, Monsieur Pierre Moreau.
I was just walking by. I didn't steal the money.
But naturally. Nobody stole the money. It's in the safe behind this wall.
Huh? Are you positive, Monsieur Dupin?
Perfectly obvious that the money hasn't been touched. These murders were far too cruel to be instigated by man's greedy desire for financial reward. Here, let me open the safe and show you. I happen to know an interesting combination that will open any safe. I should have been a thief. So, there. That ought to open it.
Oh, it did.
Naturally. Now look. There's the 4,000 francs, safe and snug as a 4,000 franc group of notes should be.
Well, perhaps Monsieur Lebon was interrupted in the midst of his thievery. Perhaps he didn't have time to finish.
Well, nonsense. Monsieur Lebon was with you when you walked up the stairs.
Well, an accomplice, perhaps.
No, Monsieur Isidore Musée. Let me show you something. Look at the fingerprints on this girl's neck. Very strong, heavy prints. And very large, too.
Why, yes. The murderer must have been a giant. His hand must have been twice as large as mine, and I have a large hand as hands go.
Yes. The murderer was a giant. A giant with extraordinary strength. Gentlemen, I think now I have sufficient clues. Look at this window.
It's just a window.
Yes, just a window with a cord on it. A broken piece of cord. Clue number 1. Clue number 2. Look at the dead girl's hand.
Huh? Oh, she has some hair clutched in her hand.
Quite correct. And with this cord and this hair, I can find the murderer. Gentlemen, go home. Go home, get a good night's sleep, and I'll hand the murderer over to the prefect of police very soon.
Monsieur Dupin, don't forget to mention that I helped you. I'm due for promotion soon.
That's very extraordinary.
And so, messieurs, that is the story. And you have the fact. A piece of cord and some hair. The condition of the room, the strength of the murderer, the passion of the deed, the lack of motivation should all suggest to you the very same thing it suggested to me.
Monsieur Dupin, you are talking in circles.
Circles? So? You mean to say you still don't know who the murderer is?
No, of course I don't know. And frankly, Monsieur Dupin, I don't think you know either.
Oh, really, gentlemen. Really, gentlemen, you amaze me. Here, Monsieur le Prefect. Examine this piece of cord, if you will. What do you make out of it?
A piece of cord, yes. Well, let me see. Well, it's a piece of... Well, nothing except that, it's been torn.
Yes, it's been torn. Now,
yes.
Try to tear it yourself.
Well, well, I couldn't. It's a very, very strong cord.
Ah. Notice anything else?
Yes, now that I look at it, it's got a very unusual knot in it. But what does an unusual knot prove?
You will see what I mean presently. It's the first stroke of 10 o'clock. Any minute now, gentlemen, the murderer will enter this room. May I please ask you to extinguish all the candles in the room, all except one.
Well, Why, Monsieur Dupin, we'll all be murdered.
Which would be no great tragedy, but I wouldn't worry if I were you.
Well, as you say, Monsieur Dupin. Extinguish the candles, gentlemen.
Yes. Now we are in semi-darkness. That is fine. Listen, gentlemen. The downstairs door to my pension has opened and closed. The murderer is now downstairs. He is walking up the stairs. Now listen. Yes, listen.
For the love of heaven.
Quiet, quiet. He is coming closer. Gentlemen, are you ready to grab him when he enters?
Yes, Monsieur Dupin.
That is good, good. He is standing outside my door now, Monsieur le Prefect. Ready, gentlemen?
Yes.
Come in. Grab him.
Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
So it is you, sailor. Help the sailor to sit down.
It was a trap, huh?
Yeah, but this sailor doesn't look strong enough to commit these murders.
Let me go! Let me go! Let me go, I say!
Please don't struggle. You see, sailor, Monsieur le Prefect cannot arrest you for the murder because, although you are responsible for the crimes, you are not guilty.
I'm not guilty. I'm not. I couldn't help it.
Of course you couldn't. Gentlemen, it must be obvious to you now that no man murdered these two women. The only creature able to do it would be a Bornese orangutan.
Orangutan?
I matched these hairs I found in the dead woman's hand, and of course they belong to just such a creature.
An orangutan.
Yes, Monsieur Dupin is right.
But tell me, how is this sailor involved?
I owned the animal. Dupin put an ad in the paper saying my orangutan was captured. Well, that's why I'm here, to claim it.
But didn't you realize that Monsieur Dupin knew that the murder was an orangutan?
No, I didn't think anyone could solve the murders. But I did know that whoever put the ad in the paper knew that I was the owner of the animal and that he was keeping what he thought was a perfectly innocent animal.
You see, I addressed my ad personally to this sailor. This piece of cord told me a sailor owned it. There was a sailor's knot in the cord, and the knot was peculiar to those tied on Maltese vessels. Therefore, when I put the ad in the paper, I asked the sailor from the Maltese vessel, I checked on the name of the vessel from the sailing data in the paper, to come and get the beast.
Well, naturally, I came to pick him up.
Ah, now I see.
One question I must ask, sailor. How did the orangutan get hold of a razor, and how did he manage to escape?
I had the animal locked in my quarters. I captured him in Malta and brought him to this country to sell to the zoo. They're very smart, you know. For last night, when I entered my room, he was trying to shave with my razor. When I tried to chain him up, he escaped. He ran out into the streets, saw the light in number 12, Rue Morgue, climbed up the lightning rod to the ladies' apartments. Well, you know the rest.
Indeed we do. Well, gentlemen, if you have any other problems you wish settled, call on me. Just call on Monsieur Auguste Dupin. Incidentally, if you'd like to see the orangutan, you'll find it safely locked up in the zoo.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought you the immortal tale, Murders in the Rue Morgue. Bellkeeper, hold the bell. Out of the past, phantoms of a world gone by speak again their immortal tale, The Curse of the Mantle.
bell has been tolling since the procession began. Since sundown, its dismal clang has beat upon the town, rung upon it like hammer upon anvil, tolling for the damned. They are bearing the mantle of Lady Eleanor to be publicly burned. And from where I stand, here in the dim cemetery above my own grave, I can see the procession moving slowly through the street. George Helwys is at the head. Behind him, upon a litter, gleams the magnificent mantle. How many eyes, sick with disease, watch this procession? How many dead like myself listen to the tread of their feet? How many recall the events that led to this feverish evening in spring? It begins when these dead walked and these diseased laughed. It begins in her uncle's, the governor's mansion, in the room with a great mirror. The chandelier was ablaze with candles, and she stood there, the Lady Eleanor, gazing at herself in the mirror. Behind her sat George Helwys, her fiancé.
You've stared at your image in the glass a long time, Ellen.
Yes, I have.
Ah, the vanity of women. Are you dissatisfied at what you see, my love?
Are you, George?
Oh, am I dissatisfied with the lovely summer's day? But come, look at me. I'm by far the more eloquent mirror. That one is silent, while I proclaim the beauty I see.
Yet the real mirror is more honest, for it shows me as I really am.
Then I am its voice.
A man's voice.
And a lover's.
Yet I am not satisfied. I am but another weed in the garden.
What is it, milady? You stare so earnestly at yourself.
Oh, do I? I've only been imagining how I shall look in my new mantle, George.
Oh, the mantle again.
It is beautiful. Nothing like it has ever been seen. It is woven and stitched as if it were the work of gods.
Or the work of devils.
Are you listening to foolish tales, George?
I do not know whether they are foolish tales, Ellen. I do know, though, that there is something uncanny about your seamstress, Mrs. Willows. True, she has cause for being half mad, bedridden all these years, but it's something else. There have been hints and outright accusations about it.
Such as?
That she is in league with the devil.
Oh.
Yes, laugh, milady. Call it schoolboy fears or what you will. Nonetheless, I am a God-fearing man, and I do not trust her.
What would you have me do, George?
Do not take the mantle, Ellen. Do not wear it. Do not ever go to Mrs. Willows again.
I am going for it this day. In fact, I'm going now. Will you accompany me?
You will not listen to me?
No.
All right, then. I will go with you. Now. She doesn't answer, Ellen.
She might be sleeping. Open the door. We'll wake her.
It's dim. I cannot see anything.
Oh, here. Here, my fine birds. In the bed, see? Mrs. Willows never gets up to leave her work. No, she's laid here and stitched the proper winding sheet all these years.
It's I, Lady Eleanor, Mrs. Willows. I've come for a
mantle. A special mantle.
Yes.
A covering fit for a queen. Isn't it pretty? Look at it. The devil never had one lovelier.
Well, I cannot see well. It's so dim.
Then open the shutters. Open them up, young man.
Yes, of course.
Would you have your lady miss her treasure in the dark?
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, look at it.
Oh.
It lies like a royal beast across my lap. Blood red with cunning gold, eh? I've stitched all a madman learns into it. All a sick bed teaches.
Is it finished?
You'll wear it then. Still hot from my fingers, eh? That's courage, my bird. Yes, it's done. Every last stitch in proper place. Oh, it wants to go to you. I can feel it stirring beneath my fingers.
Oh.
Patience. I've also waited a long time. Patience.
Ellen.
Come, put it on, milady. Put it on. And gaze at yourself in my mirror. Over there. Let me look upon you both. I've the soul of an artist.
Ellen, don't.
I've never seen such a beautiful thing. Never.
Take it. That's it, my beauty. Fasten the clasp now, quickly, and look. Oh, you've never seen a beauty now, have you? It turns a pretty girl into an imperious queen, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, my mantle has a royal gift to offer. Empires are sacked for beauty such as yours now. You have power and regal pride. The clock is running down. Is it time, master? Tick tock.
Ellen, take it off. It's cursed. Cursed, I beg of you, fling it off.
Quiet.
Give it back before it's too late, Ellen.
Don't be a fool. So it is time. Yes, I've passed it on. We've an heir, master. An heir. Tick tock. Tick.
She's dead. Dead.
Ah. The mantle is beautiful. Beautiful.
Her beauty was an incredible thing now. Haughty and commanding as a goddess's. But when she wrapped herself in the mantle, she wrapped herself in a cold and terrible pride. For all at once, she changed. Scorn for ordinary mortals reared itself beside her majesty, and people cursed her and her mantle. All love was frozen in her. Now she looked upon George Helwys with contemptuous eyes. One day he came to the governor's mansion. He arrived when the Lady Eleanor was in the garden, surrounded by Dr. Clark, Captain Langland, and Mr. Roberts, the school teacher.
No doubt you do find it strange, Mr. Roberts.
I had only thought it curious, milady. I meant nothing.
I do, Ellen. I haven't seen the young man about for some time. An old sentimentalist notice such things.
I am not flattered by your interest, Doctor.
Who is this young man you speak of?
An epitaph, Captain Langland. I'm afraid you never met its subject. Shall we speak of other things?
Lady.
Yes?
Begging your pardon, lady, but there's a gentleman in the hall.
Who is it?
Master George, ma'am.
The devil. Tell him I'm away. Well, Doctor, how are your sentiments faring now? Are you still here?
Excuse me, ma'am, but he knows you're here. He's seen you through the window.
You fool! Did you let him? Ah, well. You must excuse me, gentlemen. I've a ghost to be laid away.
Surely, yes.
Ellen.
Yes?
It wasn't easy for me to come here. I'm not one to bear the role of a turned-out dog gracefully.
Is that how you picture yourself?
Yes, that and sometimes more. Oh, have you no pity left? Throw off the mantle, Ellen. Burn it. It's turned you into a marble statue, a soulless being. Burn it, Ellen.
The door, Mr. Helwys, is behind you.
There's still time yet. Let our love consume it. Burn the mantle.
Listen to me, and listen well. We are as far apart as the mountain tops are from the bottom of the sea, as the sky from the earth, as the living from the dead. All that you stand for, goodness and pious love and humility, is hateful to me. I will have none of this kind of human groveling.
Ellen.
Your kind would believe a garden patch a paradise. I demand empire. You would creep along with pious caution while I will leap the world. I will have grapes in the dead of winter. I will command the trees' greenery to stand firm against the winter. I will hear nightingales and larks in the desert. Power, power, I shall be cloaked in it. All nature will perform for me while you grovel in the dust. Get away from me.
What is the mantle made of you, Ellen?
Your enemy, Mr. Helwys. Your deadly enemy.
The desire for power grows like a malignant cancer in the body. And as the days went by, the name of Lady Eleanor became a hateful one amongst the people. More and more she withdrew from them, keeping regally aloof like some cold and isolated tower. Even upon the night of her uncle's, the governor's, reception, she stood apart from the throng, imperious, her mantle ruby red and gleaming upon her shoulders.
You are looking extraordinarily beautiful tonight, milady.
What were you saying, Captain?
That you are beautiful tonight, milady. Don't you think so, Doctor?
Is it time yet?
Time?
The devil, I mean, what time is it?
Oh, it's 9 o'clock, milady. Are you expecting someone?
I don't know. The evening is unbearably long. What time did you say, Captain?
9. 9 o'clock, milady.
Is that all? He drives a rusty chariot. Well, who is here tonight?
Why, everyone, milady. Without much trouble, I can see the King's Commission, Lord and Lady Rothcliffe, Sir John, and many others.
And George Helbus.
Where?
Behind you, milady.
What are you doing here?
Listen to me, Ellen. It's not too late. Drink this wine. Drink from this goblet and pass it amongst the guests.
Good Lord, it's a communion vessel.
Yes. It's holy wine, Ellen. Holy. You must believe me. Drink and let others sip from the same cup. Let them see that you are not withdrawn from all human love. Drink and we will burn the mantle.
Go amongst the cowards for your converts, Mr. Helwys. Win over the inglorious meek. I repeat, I shall wear an empire for a diadem in my hair.
You must drink, Ellen. You must.
The wine may be poisoned. Seize him.
Don't be ridiculous.
You clumsy ass! You've splattered my mantle. I'll have you beaten to a pulp.
What's the matter?
Ellen.
A chair. Quickly. A chair.
Cast the mantle from you, Ellen.
Dizzy. Doctor.
Yes, Ellen.
Doctor. Oh, Doctor, I must not die. I must not. You must help me.
She's fainted.
Let me help lift.
Yes, come on.
The mantle. Look. It glows like a thing alive. Like a thing alive.
The plague began on that night, and its first victim was Captain Langland. Then, inexorably, it moved through the town, leaving like an invading army a path of ruin. Each house had its tears, and each house rang with the curses for Lady Eleanor. She, and she alone, had provoked God's anger, they said. But was it his anger? Was it? Miraculously, Dr. Clark remained untouched by the disease that seized the town, and all day long he moved in and out of sick rooms, a gray-haired, weary man. He would not rest in spite of the urgent pleas of his housekeeper.
But you cannot go on like this, Doctor.
Only the dead have the privilege of resting, Mrs. Burns.
Well, at least eat the food I cooked for you. You'll be in the churchyard yourself in no time.
If you can find room for me there. Half a dozen funerals passed me in the street today, and no one was weeping. No one has tears left anymore, and still the bell goes on tolling.
It's her mantle.
Eh?
Yes, she and her cursed mantle. Has the plague struck her? Her skin's still lily white, I'll warrant. The Lady Eleanor. The devil's lady.
Nonsense, Mrs. Burns.
Oh, I know. You and your books of science. Begging your pardon, Doctor, but there's a lot that's not in your books.
Mrs. Burns, who is it?
I'll go see.
Doctor desires Sarah. Mr. Roberts, the schoolteacher. He's fainted and the fever's burning him.
When did this happen?
But this afternoon, sir.
Mrs. Burns, get me my bag.
But your meal, Doctor. You've had no lunch this day, I'm sure.
True, but James Roberts might not have breakfast tomorrow. He has much less time than I. Much less, Mrs. Burns. Much less.
Is that you, Doctor?
Aye, James. It's I.
Oh, good. There's a great deal to say. It's hot. Open the window, Sarah. Open one.
Don't twist so, James. You can open a window, Sarah.
A lot to say, Doctor. A lot. He's claiming his bill now, Doctor. A goodly sum.
Who is?
The Horn gentleman. The Lady Eleanor's banker. You know, credit, unearthly beauty, cost, lives.
Has this nonsense gotten you too, James?
Doctor.
Yes?
Doctor, is there a bell tolling?
Aye, James.
There's nothing you can do to stop it, is there? Oh, it makes such a dismal clang.
No, nothing.
Doctor, listen to me. I've been speaking with George Helwys. Burn the mantle. Go to her room and seize it. For the contagion is there.
James, be still.
No, you must listen. You can go there. You're a doctor.
I am also a man of science.
That is inadequate now. You must burn it. Doctor.
Yes? James. James. Sarah. The window. You can shut it now. He's dead. Dead.
He came downstairs to the street again. An old man with exhausted eyes. There was a funeral passing. A half-dozen mourners bearing a small casket. He turned and began walking away. Suddenly he heard a voice calling.
Dr. Clark!
He stopped
Dr. Clark!
and turned back. There was a man running toward him. Another one, thought the doctor. Another one.
Well, who is it now?
The Lady Eleanor.
What?
She seemed well enough this morning, Doctor.
If you will permit me, sir, I'll go up.
Yes, do. Oh, here, wait, I'll walk with you. Doctor.
Yes, Your Excellency?
I'm not an ignorant nor a credulous sort of a man. And I've the utmost contempt for superstition, but the mantle. I don't carry foolish tales about either, Doctor. But I've heard some,
that the mantle is cursed, Your Excellency?
Aye, that's it in a nutshell. Nonsense of that kind. I don't like it. Hey, what's that?
George Helwys.
Well, what are you doing in this house, Master Helwys? What do you want?
Her. Look.
A red banner of the epidemic.
Yes, for her.
Are you mad, George? Will you make a mockery of the poor girl's suffering?
Death and disease are in the form of Lady Eleanor. And I am the banner bearer.
Now, George, listen to me. We were friends in better days. You shared some confidences with me. I know how you loved her. I promised to do all in my power to save the Lady Eleanor, but you must not go near her.
Save her? She whose very breath breathes a poison in the air? Whose mantle has shaken death and pestilence upon us? Never was so great a curse visited upon this land as the Lady Eleanor.
How dare you, sir? Get out!
I must see the Queen in her awful beauty of the pestilence. I must see God's work. She challenged his order. She raised her will like a host of spears against him. And like the fallen angel, she has been cast down. I must see the Black Queen.
Will seeing her help?
As water to the thirsty. As succor to the abandoned.
Give me your hand, George. I will take you to her chamber. Here. Here is her chamber, George. Open the door and go in.
It's dim. I do not see her.
Call her.
But Lady Eleanor. Ellen. She doesn't answer.
Enter and keep calling.
Ellen. It's I, George Helwys. Can you hear me?
Water. A drop of water. My throat is burning. Water on the table.
In a moment. Here, drink it.
Who are you?
George Helwys, Ellen.
The scavengers gather. Go away. I am not dead yet.
Where is the mantle, Ellen? Ellen.
These are the grapes that I have gathered in winter. This the empire glittering in my hair. I have been trapped.
Where is it, Ellen?
She lied, George. She lied. She said that power would be mine, that glory would be mine, that I would be an imperial queen on earth, a royal consort, a shining evening star. But she did not say death's consort. No, she did not say that.
Have you hidden it, Ellen?
All men were her enemies, and through me she struck back at them. I was the gatekeeper, George. The gatekeeper.
Ellen, the mantle.
What? What did you say?
The mantle. Where is it?
Oh, it's here. Around me. I am wearing it.
Ellen.
This is royal dyeing, my man. All queens take their glory to the grave with them. And the prisoner is buried in his chains.
No, Ellen, no.
And you are all avenged by it. My bit of splendor is almost done. They will ask for the crown jewels back, and I will go out through the servants' entrance.
No, Ellen. You will get well, you will.
Poor lad. You love the exiled queen still. If there were pity left in me, I would pity you. But as a close friend of the exiled queen, believe me, she is worth no man's love. What? My throat is burning. Water.
Here, Ellen, drink. Drink.
George.
Yes, Doctor?
Did you see her?
Yes, I did.
And is she... What are you carrying there across your arm, George? What is it?
The mantle, Doctor. The mantle.
The procession is almost there. They'll burn the mantle before the province house and let the wind take command of the ashes. From where I stand, beside my own grave, my own tombstone, I can see George Helwys entering the square. His mouth is working as if he was shouting, but I do not hear the words. There. They've lowered the litter with the mantle now, and they're building a funeral pyre. About the square strides George Helwys, waving his crimson banner aloft. He stalks the living like death himself. They're finished. There. Someone's coming forward with a blazing torch and flings it. Leap, flame! Leap! A wall of fire has leaped up about the mantle, enveloping it. A ruddy glare glows on the walls of houses, on people's faces, and on the blood-red banner in George's hand. And it is done. Done. The mantle is consumed. Listen. The bell has stopped tolling.
From the time-worn pages of the past, we have brought to you the story, The Curse of the Mantle. Bellkeeper, toll the bell.
I am the spirit of the demon tree.
£3 on the Jack of Diamonds.
You should tear your money up, Humphreys. It would last you longer.
Perhaps you're right, Crane. But this way I get a sense of honest toil. I say, isn't anyone else betting?
Oh, let's quit. I'm tired of losing.
Oh, look here, old girl. Could I loan you a few pounds?
No, thank you, Crane. I have enough to get me back to London. If we ever do get back.
Now, why do you say that, Clara? It's only a matter of a stage getting through here to the resort and taking us out of this beastly place.
Beastly place is right. Why people come here for a rest is more than I can determine. Honestly,
I've never spent such an uncomfortable week in all my life.
Well, think of me. I've been here 3. So have you, Humphreys.
Look here, you two. It's 3 o'clock. They're expecting the stage around 8 tonight. What do you say the 3 of us go for a bit of a walk through the forest?
I say, why not? Oh, here comes Danvers. Perhaps he'll join us.
Anything to get away from this place. Good afternoon, Danvers.
Greetings, good people. I take it you're no happier than when I left you a while ago.
The place is as gloomy as a morgue. We've just agreed to take a walk in the forest back of the inn. You're invited to come along if you like.
Sounds like a good enough way to pass the time.
Oh, good. And we all go together. Besides, I'm quite interested in that forest out there. You remember, of course, the story the night clerk told us last evening.
Yes, I don't like him. He talks through his nose. People should talk through their mouths.
No. I mean, what he told us about the forest.
What about the forest? I didn't hear it, Humphreys.
Well, the clerk said it was a gorgeous place. Lots of beautiful foliage, vivid colors, clear water lakes.
But nobody goes there. It's so beautiful.
That's just it, Clara. You see, people have gone there and never come back.
Rubbish. A lot of nonsense. Why, the clerk is just superstitious, that's all.
I am inclined to agree with you, Danvers. Why, he even told us an absurd story about a tree out there in that forest that's supposed to strangle people.
Strangle them? How?
Oh, I don't know. With its branches, I suppose. Just some absurd legend the people around here like to believe.
I believe it's more than just a legend, Crane.
Eh?
And what makes you say that, old man?
Here. I talked to the clerk again later last night. He dug out this old newspaper clipping for me. Read it, Danvers, aloud.
Old is right. Almost illegible.
Well, read it.
It says, London, England, April 21st, 1857. It is reported that Sir Horace Wakefield, Earl of Dorset, was found strangled last night in Barlow Forest. His body was discovered entangled in the branches of a huge oak tree.
Go on. Read the rest of it.
Earl's death recalls to mind the weird tale of the witch of Barlow Forest, who is said to have lived in the 16th century. An evil old hag who, upon having a falling out with Sir Thomas Holly Wakefield, cursed him and warned him that any of his descendants who entered Barlow Forest would surely perish.
Charming old girl, wasn't she?
No. Don't scoff until you've heard the rest of it.
Go on, Danvers.
She also added that any person or persons with the Wakefield descendant would also die. She is said to have planted an acorn smeared with her own blood. The acorn is supposed to have grown into a towering oak capable of moving about from place to place in Barlow Forest. Sir Horace is the 6th of the Wakefield line to have perished by strangulation in the forest.
Thomas Hurley Wakefield. I wonder.
You wonder what, Crane?
My mother's name was Wakefield. I was just wondering if she was related to Sir Thomas.
Oh, of course not, Crane. It's just a story.
But an extraordinary story, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Wouldn't do very well as a bedtime story, would it?
A demon tree. I wonder if we could find it.
Well, let's have a try, shall we?
I'm game.
Don't let anybody say I'm not.
Then let's go. Oh, Humphreys going along? I say, Humphreys, are you daydreaming?
No, I was just thinking. Wouldn't it be odd if the whole thing were true? If we all went in there and didn't come back.
Well, do you gentlemen see any way we can get into that forest?
It's as dense as Father Time's beard. Doesn't seem to be an opening anywhere.
I think we can get in over here.
Oh, all right. Coming, Danvers.
There seems to be a footpath over here. Only one along this line of the forest. There, see?
Oh, yes, you're right. Come on, I'll lead. We'd better remember the way back. It'd be hard to get out of here if we didn't know where this opening is.
Don't worry, I'll remember it. I'm good at landmarks.
Go ahead, Clara. I'm right behind you.
I say, do any of you feel that?
Feel what, Danvers?
The chill. I feel like it's 20 degrees colder in this place.
I feel that way, too.
So do I.
No, it's naturally cooler in the woods where the sun doesn't shine.
But not this much cooler.
I don't like this place. I'm for going back to the inn.
Oh, let's get on ahead a little ways. I say, it is pretty in here.
Pretty or not, it gives me the creeps.
It isn't the kind of cold caused by climatic changes.
What was that, Denver?
I said it's a different kind of cold. It's the kind that creeps up your spine when some evil comes over you.
Oh, now, Danvers. We're just letting that newspaper story play on your mind.
Wait a minute, eh? Look! That tree there in front of us. It looks like a human giant.
Oh, you're right, Danvers.
I could swear it moved just a moment ago.
It did move. I saw it, too.
That's the strangest looking tree I ever saw. Look at that bark. I wonder if...
Crane! What's wrong, man?
I just touched the bark of that tree and it didn't feel like bark at all.
What?
No, it felt like human skin.
Here, let me feel it. By heaven, it's true. It does feel like skin. Warm and smooth and soft.
Yes. It feels that way to me, too.
Here, Humphreys, you touch it.
No, thanks.
Go ahead, Humphreys. Feel it.
I have no desire to. You see, I'm sure you're right.
What's that?
I feel that this is the demon tree of Barlow Forest.
Humphreys.
I think we've seen enough of this place, haven't we? Let's get back to the inn.
Yes, let's.
All right, come on.
I say, wait a minute. Have you noticed how dark it is? All of a sudden.
The sun's behind a cloud, probably.
It's impossible to see the sky through this foliage.
It is darker. I can hardly see where I'm walking.
Are you quite sure this is the right way? I don't remember this clearing.
I don't either.
Wait a minute. By heaven, this isn't the way.
It must be. We're on the path, aren't we?
No. No, I don't think we are. It's so dark. Do any of you have a flash?
I certainly don't remember this clearing. I think... What was that?
What was what, Crane?
You'll think this is foolish, but I swear I felt the branch of a tree brush across my face and shoulder.
That's impossible. There's not a tree within 50 feet of us.
But I felt it, I tell you. It rustled like a branch covered with leaves, and yet it felt warm and soft, like human flesh.
Crane, are you sure?
Yes, look, we're lost here. It's dark as night, right in the middle of the afternoon. And we've lost the path in that tree.
Easy, Crane. Keep your head, man.
I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to stay here and be murdered.
Crane! Stay with us.
No. I'm going to find the path and get out of here.
Crane, stay here. We'll find a way back.
I don't want to stay here and die. I want to get away from this place.
Crane, don't be a fool. Crane!
He's gone.
Now he is in for it. We're better off by staying together.
I don't know whether we are or not.
Listen.
It's Crane.
Sounds like he's strangling.
Come on.
Oh, he couldn't have gotten far.
Right over here, I think.
Now, take it easy now. Be careful.
Oh, there he is.
Yes. stretched out on the ground, like he was dead. Look at him.
Oh.
Marks on his throat, like hands would make.
That wasn't done by hands. See? Stains on his skin. Green stains.
Thomas Wakefield Crane.
Oh, what a horrible way for him to die.
Clara, a tree. This is where we first saw it. Now it's gone.
Humphreys, you're right. This is where it was. I'm sure of it.
Then what's happened to it?
The important question is, what are we going to do with Crane?
We'll have to leave him here till we can find a way out of this place.
Poor Crane. It happened so quickly. One minute he was with us, and the next...
We warned him not to leave us. Now the three of us had better stay close together.
Oh, yes, for heaven's sakes, let's not get separated.
And do come on. There's nothing we can do for Crane now. We've got to find our way out of here.
It doesn't seem right leaving him there.
It's all we can do. Come on.
How do we know which way to go?
We don't. All we can do is keep moving and hope to find the path again.
Oh, it's horrible. Wandering about like this, like nothing but a group of marionettes.
Controlled by what strange puppeteer?
What's that, Humphreys?
I said, controlled by what strange puppeteer?
Humphreys, surely you don't think we've been purposely led into this?
Who can say?
Oh, now, Humphreys. Crane went off the deep end. We've got to keep our heads.
We found a way in. Surely we'll find a way out.
Yes. Yes, we did find a way in. But what about the chill? The darkness?
There's some explanation. Perhaps a storm is coming up. Yes, that could be it. Couldn't it?
Storms don't rise that quickly in this part of the country.
And the darkness. It came down on this forest like a shroud.
Yes. Came so quickly. Reminded me of how a corpse must feel in his coffin when the lid is put over it.
Look here, Humphreys. I'm about fed up with that sort of talk.
Only a fool refuses to face the facts, Danvers. You know this isn't any ordinary situation we're in. The chill of winter in the summertime, darkness in mid-afternoon, and a tree that strangles.
It was probably just an accident, Crane's death.
Why don't you stop trying to tell yourself that the tree was only an imaginary thing? We all know that it's real.
Humphreys.
And as alive as any of us. The bark did feel like human flesh.
Danvers. Humphreys. Look.
What is it? A glow of light there ahead of us.
It's the tree.
There. Now what do you think, Danvers? Look. It's the tree moving along in a glow of phosphorescent light.
Good heavens. It's the same tree.
It looks like a human giant.
It was nowhere near here. It was back there.
Do you two see what the tree is carrying?
It's carrying Crane. It's got him tucked up under that huge branch that looks like a human arm.
Oh.
It's fading now. Disappearing again.
Fading away. Yes. Gone. He's gone.
Now do you believe, Danvers? Now do you admit that the tree is alive?
What else can I believe? I don't know.
Danvers, look out!
He's fallen into a water pit.
Oh, help! Humphreys! It's quicksand!
Humphreys, he's sinking.
Help! I'm into my waist! Get me out of here!
Stand still, Danvers. You'll just sink deeper.
Quick! Help me out of here!
That's something I can get onto.
Here, Danvers.
Danvers, grab the end of that pole. Here, let me help, Humphrey.
Grab it, Danvers. Grab it.
The pole, Danvers. Grab the end. We'll pull you off.
I can't. That tree branch. It's beating me.
Good Lord. Listen, Clara.
A tree branch. But we can't see it.
I can't get near the pole. The branch keeps beating me back.
Humphreys, do something. He's up to his shoulders now.
I can't make it. I can't help. Save me. Save me.
No, he'll go under the quicksand and strangle.
Danvers, there's nothing I can do.
That tree. The demon tree. There's no escaping from it.
He's gone.
Poor devil. Didn't have a chance.
Humphreys, we've got to get out of here. We're all doomed. It's the Wakefield curse.
Clara, stop it.
It is the curse. We're helpless. There's nothing we can do to save ourselves.
Clara, stop it.
Humphreys.
Now, we can't give up. We've got to find a way out of this place. Follow me. Be careful where you step. Whatever happens, keep your head, Clara, for heaven's sake.
I'm so tired. We've walked for hours.
I say, it's getting a little lighter. Clara, up ahead there. Isn't that a path?
What? Oh, you're right, Humphreys. It's the path we came in on.
And look, there's an opening through the trees.
Yes, I remember the landmarks. Oh, thank God for the light.
Come on, Clara. Out of this place. There's nothing we can do for Danvers or Crane now. Clara.
Yes?
I wonder if you feel as I do. I thought we'd be safe back here in the hotel. I don't know how to describe it, but I have a feeling that this whole business isn't over yet.
I know. I've had the same feeling. A feeling that we're not finished with the demon tree.
Or that it's not finished with us.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, my room. Better go in and have a drink, Clara. Heaven knows we need one.
Yes, I certainly do.
What's worrying me is how we're going to explain what happened to Craig and Danvers. Yeah, wait a minute. I'll get the light. There.
Humphreys, on the bed there.
Good Lord. The branch of a tree about 2 feet long.
Humphreys, don't touch it.
Look at it. Look at it. A fresh, living branch.
Put it down. Oh, Humphreys, I'm getting out of here.
Where are you going?
Down to the lobby and wait for the stage.
Oh, hold on. I'll go with you. Wait, Clara. Wait, it's 3 flights down. Let's take the elevator.
All right. We can get the thing up here.
It's automatic. Just push the button, it'll come up.
Humphreys, look. Someone left the steel gate open.
I say, that's dangerous.
It certainly is. Humphreys, that branch is pushing. Stop it! Humphreys! Ah!
Good Lord. Clara! Clara! That branch! It pushed her down the shaft. It's after me. Get away! Get away! Help me! Help me, somebody! The tree! The demon tree! It's choking me!
any descendant of Sir Thomas Hurley Wakefield who enters Barlow Forest is doomed to die, and all who enter the forest with him are likewise doomed.
Dark fantasy.
You have just heard The Demon Tree, an original tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop. Tonight's cast included Eleanor Naylor Corrin as Clara, Ben Morris, who was Humphreys, Garland Moss took the part of Danvers, and Murillo Schofield was heard as Crane. Next Friday night at this time, the National Broadcasting Company will bring you another unusual and fantastic adventure thriller, Men Call Me Mad, the story of another world and the people who inhabit it. An exciting and weird tale of dark fantasy created by Scott Bishop. Dark fantasy originates in the studios of station WKY, Oklahoma City.